Hello friends, welcome to week 5 of the Sabbath School Nugget. First, I want to thank Cynthia for sharing her thought on last week's lesson. This week, our lesson is entitled, The Wrath of Divine Love. Our memory verse comes from Psalms chapter 78, verse 38. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and did not destroy them. Yes, many a time he turned his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. I appreciate how the author of the Sabbath School titled this week's lesson, The Wrath of Divine Love, linking God's wrath with his love. One key question we will explore this week is how can God's wrath be reconciled with his love? It's common to hear sermons or read articles about God's love and grace or even mercy, but when was the last time you heard a sermon on God's wrath? Many believers can't recall such a sermon, and some even feel unease at the thought. Yet the Bible shows us that God's wrath is indeed a real part of his character, both in the Old and in the New Testament. In fact, in the Old Testament, out of 455 references to wrath as a noun, 375 refers to the wrath of God, while the rest speaks of human wrath. The New Testament also continues this theme. John the Baptist, Paul, and Apostle John in Revelation, and even Jesus all spoke about divine wrath. Some Christians, even including Seventh-day Adventists, argue that wrath doesn't fit with a loving God. They see wrath as a human emotion tied to weakness, unbefitting the dignity of a perfect God. They interpret the phrase, the wrath of God, as describing vindictive or vengeful being, stern and cruel, sitting on his throne in heaven and waiting for a chance to punish us. This misunderstanding distorts God's character and can lead to fear-based or reward-driven obedience rather than genuine love. However, just as God's love is genuine and untainted by human flaws, his wrath is also free from sinful imperfection. God's wrath and his love both reflect his active care and involvement in human history. Wrath stands against sin and anything that destroys his saving purpose, while love works to redeem and restore. Far from revealing a weakness, divine wrath shows how much humanity matters to God. He commands and forbids, love and judge because he deeply cares for his creation. God's wrath is neither reckless rage or uncontrollable temper. It is a holy and a just response of God to evil. Wrath is not opposed to love. In many ways, it is driven by love. God does not remain idle when people hurt each other. He cares deeply about injustice, and when innocent lives are threatened, he responds. This is where wrath enters the picture. It isn't random cruelty. It's God's righteous reaction to sin and the damages it causes. C.S. Lewis once said, God's love and his wrath are perfectly consistent. His wrath is his love in action against sin. And that is the nugget. Thank you for studying with me. I will see you tomorrow.